Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, professional intro right there.
Well, hey, everybody.
All right, we already have some people in the chat, which is awesome. Let's see who's here. We got OG Brick. What's happening? Non-bike riding Dave Vogel saying, Dave, by the way, I did get your email last night. I just haven't had a chance to respond yet, and Greg has not seen it yet.
No.
So, thank you for that email, Dave. Steve Joes is in the house. Ryan Frank, Major Zero, Troy and Lisa Toole are sipping on some John Bowman single barrel. That's awesome. That stuff was good. We got that in the sample one.
Yeah, we
can't
did.
get that in Minnesota here. So,
As
you guys can see,
it's been a while since we've actually done one of these, like live streams or even filmed anything.
Yeah, it really has. I don't think I've even probably seen you in a month.
Right.
And Greg lives directly across the street from me. So
yeah, it's
it's been. I was on vacation, and then I got the Schmoronavirus. I edited it there so the YouTube algorithm doesn't flag our video for.
Really? I don't know.
I don't know how that actually works.
Yeah.
Peter White is in the house. What's happening, Peter White? So we have.
Hey, well, hold on. OG Brick made a reference.
Oh, Sweet a Maker's Private Select Night. Yes, it is. It's actually. These are the private selects. These are the 2019, 2020, and 2021 private selects from actual Maker's Mark. Wow. And they're not the wood finishing limited release. They're the ones that were selected. Weren't they selected by, what's his name? Rob Samuels.
Yeah.
And so.
And you bought these at Costco. They were fairly widely available. Yeah, it came in a wood box.
Yeah, they came in a box. It looks like this. You get this at Costco. It costs like $75. I got them on sale for $50.
Mm-hmm. So you bought a couple. I took one.
Yep. And so we're going to do like a full-on video of this, but now it's a little bit out of time for that because they're not selling these.
It's always bourbon season, Ben.
Well, that's true, but they're not selling these anymore. So, Nate Carlson, what conspiracy theories will we talk about this time? I'm sure we'll get into something.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Jack, what's happening? Bourbon School is in the house.
Howdy,
and speaking of which...
We weren't talking about witches.
Annie's back. Where's my... I'm on the wrong thing. There you go. Better late than never. Oh, by the way, let's get some background music going here, too.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and talk about your thing that you're going to be doing later tonight?
Yes, exactly. So, in case you guys didn't see or hear about this, new show alert, Sugar Kitty's in the house. There's a new show that's going to be a collaboration between The Bourbon Note, Whiskey Wars, Bourbon Drop, Bad Axe Bourbon, and Bourbon School. It's called The Whiskey 6, and they actually opened up a new channel to broadcast this on.
Right.
So if you go on YouTube and you search at The Whiskey and the number 6, it should come up. Maybe some mods that are in the chat could drop a link to that. And tonight is the very, very first episode of that, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time. So we'll get done with this one, have about an hour break, and then be back on with our friends. But Greg, you will not be joining tonight on the...
I'll be in the chat.
Greg will be joining from the chat.
Yeah, so I'll be one of the spectators.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, please, please, please check that out tonight, The Whiskey 6. It's a new channel that we're going to be doing this like maybe once a month. And it's collaborative between the 5 channels, and then we're going to have like an alternating guest channel is kind of the goal.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk a little bit about whiskey at the beginning, but then what we're going to do is kind of have some subjects that are just not fully whiskey related, just random topics that we talk about, and just kind of have a hangout.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk amongst ourselves, try to interact with you guys in the chat as much as possible. Sugar Kitty dropping the link.
Thank you so much. You know, I need to subscribe. I actually haven't subscribed yet, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. We'll get one more sub out of this tonight for sure.
That's right.
So yes, please, please, please check out the Whiskey 6 first ever episode tonight at 8 o'clock Central. Anyway, getting back to the bourbon here.
Yes.
So when I originally bought this, they sold a 3-pack a few years ago when I first got into bourbon that had the 2019 private selection, and then it had a Maker's Cast Strength and a Maker's 46 Cast Strength, all 375 bottles.
Yep.
And I remember the 2019 being one of my favorite bourbons ever. I absolutely loved it. Mm-hmm. And so when I saw this come out, had to snag one of these because it had the 2019. And again, I got this for $50. I would have paid $50 for just this one. Mm-hmm. Going off of memory, I haven't had this in years.
Me either.
And I haven't had the other two. So this will be exciting to get into these tonight.
I've had either of those two. This one was really good.
Yeah.
I do have one of those sets of the one that with this one with the 46 cask strength and the regular cask strength.
Okay.
So I have that one and I have this exact set.
So you've got two of the 2019s.
Yes.
Okay,
I guess,
sweet.
Yeah.
Greg,
yeah. So
115 subs already. That's awesome because they just put the channel up.
Wow.
So, yeah, we decided tonight we're going to do this on the live stream just because it's kind of, they're not selling these at Costco anymore. They are, but it's different bottles.
Yep.
And so it's not really, it's just not
we're not going to do it.
To doing a full, just a review on because they're just not really around anymore. So let's get into these here. I've been waiting to open these up because I actually, in one of my blending videos on our Patreon, one of the bottles that came up in one of the blending random spins was the 2019 makers, and I hadn't opened it yet, and so I skipped that one, but I did save the recording of the wheel spinning to use at a later date because integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah. So let us know in the chat. Ben with the big brain fog, LOL.
Brain fog.
I have constant brain fog. I may still have a little brain fog from. I've had vertigo for like the last month. It's finally starting to get
such a good movie.
Better. You made that joke last time.
It was funny then, Ben, and it's funny today.
Well,
I'm subscribing. I'm not just like on the old.
Hollywood over here is on the phone.
No,
So. Yeah, I've had vertigo, and then I got COVID after vacation. Ooh, did you hear that?
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That's what.
So there's a channel called Whiskey in the Six. That's not it.
That is not it. Just do @the_whiskey6. It's, Nate, it was terrible, but it's getting better. Thank you. Good Lord, these cork pops are amazing.
Now it's 116. Thank you very much.
Steve Joe's already looking forward to the blend.
So if anybody is associated with the Army,
good Lord,
this is gonna be good.
Yeah, maybe the 375 bottles are key.
It is, and it's the shape of the bottle helps with the pop. Okay, this is Whiskey 6 is a great call sign.
I also injured my back. It's just been awful ever since, like. Really, you know what's weird is since I became a grandfather, my health has just been in steady decline ever since. I'm really like sliding into the role.
So that's the 19.
So I'm going 19, 20, 21 from the right to the left. Okay.
So so in the Army, whoever's the All-American, if that's the name of your unit, All-American 6 would be the commander.
Okay.
And so Whiskey 6 is actually like a call sign for our commander of some groups. That's a really cool kind of channel name, and you should stick with it, even like because if it grows and you add more channels, like stay with Whiskey 6.
Oh,
that's
sure.
That's a cool name.
All right, let's see. It's time to build pressure. It's kind of the problem with the new channel name. It's just not going to come up in a. That's true, Sugar Kitty. The Canadian channel always seems to come up instead. Yeah, so it's just @the_whiskey and then the number 6 is probably the best way. Rather, we either throw a link in there or
eventually, like it's going to grow like hundreds of new subscribers per day.
Yes,
and so within a week or two.
And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good time. If you're into Scotch, I do very much recommend Whiskey in the Six too. Okay, I just got back from vacation, and so tomorrow's video actually, since we've gone so long without filming any content, we ran out. We missed a video when I was on vacation, and then so we had an extra one, and then so I'm putting out my vacation bourbon hunting / doing a couple of reviews. Very, very rare and brief appearance by my wife in the video, actually. Yeah,
my wife has been in a couple of videos early on, and so now.
But she's into this whole thing. My wife could not be less interested in, and she could not be less interested in being on camera for any reason at all. So she does a quick, brief review of a Bud Light.
Nice.
You know, because we got the sole purpose we went on this vacation was just for bourbon hunting and to do cocktail reviews. That's the only reason we went on vacation. The sole purpose.
Okay.
So, 6 of my favorite channels all together. Thank you, Dave Vogel.
And we're on there as well.
Bike Riding Dave.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me. I may still have a little bit of a cough residual, but we'll get through it here. Okay, so let's get into the 2019 here. I'm going to nose all of these first. Before, oh God, that smells good. Where are you going to go with
That's
this?
what she said.
So I filmed a short that I haven't put out yet.
Okay.
That about Maker's 46 cast strength, and in it I mention that after having that Maker's cellar aged, it's a bummer because obviously it's just impossible to find. It's not realistic that you're going to walk into a store and get one.
Sure.
But it also, at the same time, getting to try that and how good it was, it highlighted, and I think I said this maybe in the review, but it highlighted for me how good Maker's products in general at cask strength really are.
Totally agree.
And so I think I said in that review, if you can't find a cellar age, just try the regular cask strength, and it's a great
46
bourbon.
cast strength.
Or the regular Maker's cask strength, either
that's
one
true.
of them. Yeah,
Those are 111, 112 proof.
Yep, and you can get them. Those are pretty easy to find. At least the regular cask strength is.
Don't see
so,
the 46 cast strength that often.
It's more popular now, I think. It's starting to show up a little bit more. It seems like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so if you can't get a hold of the cellar age, just try any of the cask strength Makers if you haven't had them or if you haven't been into them.
Where's our proof point?
And they're really good.
108 something. 108 something. 109 something.
A little lighter, a little nuttier on the 2019 versus the 2020.
So the 2019, I'm getting very strong brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart, which is a favorite kind of flavor note for me. And so
yeah,
liquid Pop-Tart is, actually that's a really good idea.
Man, I'm just getting like a nutty vibe from this, almost like some cashew or like a, not just like a peanut vibe, but like a, and with all that sweetness though, and caramel and all that good stuff.
The note for me is brown sugar, which, I mean, it's not uncommon on the bourbon world, but yeah, nice rich brown sugar.
Oh, let's get into it. I'm gonna get into the 2019 here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, God, that's good. That's everything I remembered it to be.
And that's the winner. I mean,
that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, this, whatever the, excuse me, I'm sorry if I'm coughing tonight. My throat's so damaged from having been coughing for 2 weeks straight that now I just have that residual kind of dry throat. So I'm hoping the whiskey just numbs that up.
That's what it's supposed to do.
So this is, it does have the stave profile on here. I don't know why they don't just make this a regular release. This is amazing.
It is amazing.
And they could, I would like to compare this to the cellar age.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
It's in the category. Like, it's in that range. This is unicorn.
I think so, too. I think that these private selects are up there with that
They're
one.
really,
Close.
really good.
Obviously, you don't have the same amount of age on it, but you do have the stave profile that's going to add some more flavor notes that extra aging might as well.
So, like, do we know age on this at all?
No, I think they usually just go 5 to 7 as a standard Maker's Mark.
Because it drinks like it's mature. You know what I mean?
It does,
There's a little bit of like a maturity of heaviness to it.
Yep, yeah, for sure. OG says they have a flavor profile map on the side of the black box they came in. That 2019 is in the dark chocolate range. The other two way different. Okay, well, let's look at that after we...
That sounds awesome.
See, I'm actually getting a little bit more of a bright kind of a vibe from the 2019.
So far, that one's pretty heavy. Like, in a good way.
It's heavy viscosity.
Viscosity, but also like dark flavors, like very earthy, very bleak.
See, I'm getting a little more brightness out of that one.
All right, so I'm going for the middle one, whatever that is, 20.
A little oaky on the 2020.
So that's got more of a black pepper and caramel mix.
I'm getting darker spice vibes on this one too.
Oh, definitely.
The pepper.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm with you on that, definitely. Oak. It's oaky on the nose, oaky on the palate.
It does have a bitterness.
A little bit.
Well, it has some sweetness and bitterness that kind of like compete in kind of an interesting way.
Yeah, I think in a good way.
Yeah.
That's actually really, really good. I don't know that I like it as much as the 2019, but as a standalone, it's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, get a little more water here. I'm going to go through these kind of rapid fire and then just kind of have fun going back and forth.
Okay.
That's what she said.
If you've got the button, use the button.
That's what she said.
See, that works both ways. Okay. Let's get into the 2020.
Is that 21?
Or 2021, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We could read off the stave profiles here, but I don't know if that's really going to
Nobody cares.
translate to, people like actually like, oh, yeah, okay, it's got the baked cuvee or whatever.
Exactly.
Ooh, this one's got a little more of almost a little odd amount of citrus or something kind of jumping out.
Well, maybe.
There's something that's almost a little bit sour about it, it seems.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it has that nice Maker's Mark bready quality underneath it, that shortbread.
Almost like a tangy kind of note.
Bourbon Drop is in the house. Bourbon Drop will also be on the Whiskey 6 tonight, as I mentioned earlier. Cheers, fellows of Whiskey family, watching as I work and typing from the phone, so forgive me for not being able to at anyone. No problem, Myron. Looking
Cheers.
forward to seeing you later. And after we taste this whiskey, I'll plug the Whiskey 6 again. That came out wrong.
That's what she said.
I'm not exactly sure that should be the motto.
It's already, it's already going off the rails here. All right, cheers. Ooh, that one's great too.
It's way different. What is that? It has a crisp apple kind of note. It's still really wood tannin
Yeah,
dry.
yeah, it is. Now I got to go through all these just individually, no water. But before I do that, since we got some more people in the chat,
Start
OG,
plugging.
if you could maybe drop that link one more time. So later on tonight at 8 o'clock Central, an hour after we're done with this, we're going live on a new channel called the Whiskey 6. It's the Bourbon Note, Bourbon Drop, Whiskey Wars, Bad Axe Bourbon, and Bourbon School. And we're going to do like maybe an hour and a half, whatever. Talk a little bit about whiskey at the beginning, but then we're just going to kind of talk about some topics that are non-whiskey related.
Kind of free range,
Just
open
as,
topics.
Yeah, just as a fun hangout. And
Yeah.
so we started this new channel. And so if you guys could please go check that out. It's at the whiskey and then the number 6. And so, yeah, go check that out and drop in tonight for our very, very first ever show on that channel. It's the 5 of us, and then we're kind of leaving an open, rotating spot for other channels to join us. But tonight it'll be the 5.
Okay.
And so I think we're going to have some fun with it. We tend to have a lot of fun when we just kind of hang out and do Zoom calls together or StreamYard calls together.
Yep.
And so we would love to have you guys be a part of that. So please check that out.
Totally. OG Brick dropped in the stave profiles. There is going to be a test, so please
Is that
memorize
the
those.
number stave profile? The stave profile number?
Yeah, so 02044.
Where does it say that?
It's probably on the box.
Oh, yeah, it probably is. I don't know. Either way, these are outstanding.
They are. All right, I was gonna do the Ben joke and say try them backwards, but
Are you going to turn around?
no, I'm not gonna.
Okay, have this one again one more time. I have a feeling the blend of this is just going to be insanely good.
Well, we're gonna be at 330 proof, which is a great proof point, by the way.
I think it is too. That's right where you want to be.
Yeah, 21 year, 330 proof.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Ooh.
Gunner L. Yes, this is the Costco set. The one that they had last year.
Correct.
Definitely more
do you like
oak bitterness on the middle.
Yeah, the middle one, I'm getting, I guess it's brown sugar cinnamon, Quaker Oats instant oatmeal.
Ooh, good tasting note.
Like really strong, the smell of the oats.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Hold on 1 second. I hit the cough button there so you guys didn't have to hear me coughing directly into my microphone. I'm noticing the whiskey is making me cough a little more. It's a little harsh on the back of the throat, but we're going to power through. It's not like I haven't...
That's what she said.
Not like I haven't been drinking through this whole process anyway. So. All right, here's the 2019 again. Gunner L, just seen one the other day. They're still in stores. Really? Did you, Gunner, are you in Minnesota? Because I know Costco has a new one of these out.
He's in Sacramento.
Oh, that's right. I wonder if he's ever seen that joke. It's like, I'm in Sacramento. So Costco has a new one of these out where it's, I think, a new yearly stave profile. Michigan, okay. And then it's the Maker's 46 cast strength and the regular Maker's cast strength. So that's what we see in Minnesota now. These I haven't seen.
So what was the first one? A 2024?
No, I think it's a 2022.
Oh, so maybe this one?
Or 23. That's 21.
That's 21. Okay, so 21.
Yeah, so it's one of these private selects, and then the two main releases.
Okay, gotcha.
So, Gunner, if you like Maker's products at all, I got this for $50. I know they were selling it for like $75. But even at $75, you're getting 3.75. I mean, you're getting a full bottle and a half.
Box.
Yeah, and a cool box. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend these if you like Maker's products at all. These are all so good.
They are.
Yeah, I can't wait for the blend on this. This is going to be amazing. I was considering, I actually went back to the store because I heard they were starting to sell these for like $30 or something.
Just load the trunk.
I was going to just load up on them.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to go buy another one.
Another Costco.
And I was just going to bring these home and just pour them all into a decanter. I was going to buy a separate set just so I could just do the full decanter blend. And by the time I got back, I guess word had gotten out and they were all sold out.
It's a shame.
Before we get into the blend, let's read the back of this and see how off we were on our flavor tasting profiles here. Okay. I thought the middle one, the 2020, was a little more oaky and tannic. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what I thought of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
What did I think of the 2021?
Oh, I said it was bright, a little bit more apple, kind of fruity.
So 2019 tasty notes. Our selection yields strong cocoa notes with a brush of spice. Okay, I mean,
I didn't get a ton of chocolate kind of notes.
Yeah,
but the heaviness and earthiness I kind of get. Yeah.
Might have to pick one up. I don't remember what the store price was. I know it wasn't on sale. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Corgi something 69. Welcome to the chat. Cheers all.
We're assuming you're from Sacramento. Can you please confirm? Corgi Kaiju.
Okay, so 2020 version, tasting notes, our selection, zesty aroma of fall apples with the savory notes of clove and salted caramel on the palate. This finish is long with bright notes of fruit. I got a little more fruit on the 2021 one.
Yeah, agreed.
Apparently, we're just terrible at tasting bourbon.
Well, or they are. I mean, they don't really know what they're doing.
They probably don't really know what they're doing. The profile, this is 2021 now. The profile has a confectionery aroma with strong vanilla notes and complementary rich flavors of pralines. Oh, pralines, that's maybe what I was getting on the 2019.
I really am getting I'm getting the same notes as them, but just in different bottles.
Pralines and pecan on the palate. The finish is long and intense with notes of citrus and savory. I got the citrus.
Yeah, so look at the side, this side with the map.
Okay.
It's like the little
oh, sure.
Your flavor is here.
I would put the 2019 over here.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I said a different kind of nuttiness.
Show the camera.
So they come in a box that looks like this.
No, the map.
Oh yeah, here, read that.
The map. You get.
I don't think they can see that.
Come on, go gadget arms. Hold it at the camera, not at the monitor.
It's not going to focus.
Yeah.
It's the kind of bang up production value here at the Bourbon Note. Anyway, so yeah, I think the pecans and pralines is. What? You ever had the praline or pecan ice cream?
Never. It's
really good. That's kind of the vibe I was getting at. But that's on the 2020 or the 2019 one, so I'm completely off from theirs.
Yeah.
Look on the side of the box. The map is there. Okay, we got that. Generations of Proof, the final chapter.
Is it really called the final chapter? Oh, it is.
Final chapter. That's stupid. Good people of Maker's Mark, can you please mass produce the 2019 Private Selection. This is one of your best products ever. This is amazing. I love this
that
stuff.
stave
It's so
profile.
good. Yeah.
Well, it's more than just a stave profile, but
All right, let's make sure these are...
we can do a blend of about 50 on these.
Yep. I'm going to do the cascading blend.
So, no, you got to go from outside in.
Outside in.
That's what she
gotta put-
said.
You want the 21 on top of the 20, and then the 19 on top of the.
You know, one of them just
Both of them.
sandwiched in the middle there.
Well, yeah, the 21.
Okay, so
This is actually a bourbon sandwich that we just made.
it is. Or like a bourbon layer cake.
Well, there you go.
Bourbon layer cake. That's going to be a new channel. That's a good sign. See, Brian said that the Whiskey 6 is starting to come up in a channel search. All right. But you have to scroll a little bit. We'll get there, for sure. The nose on this is outstanding.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You did a good job on this. Now that I've got that pralines and it's like pralines and cream ice cream or whatever, my grandma always used to have this stuff in the
Yeah,
house.
see, that's the problem. It's a grandma flavor.
It's so good though.
never
it's
had it.
really, really
Oh.
good. It's almost got like a bit of maple vibe to it as well.
Just over 330, we think, because it's 108, 109.5, 109.9, so closer to 330.
We could bust out the calculator.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And we're going 21 years because we're going to assume that these were aged the full 7
the
years.
full 7 years. And
So
they were
21 year whiskey here.
300 and almost 30.
It is almost hazmat, yes. The 30 stave finish. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's 30 staves in this.
Somebody is catching on.
Oh, yeah, the nose on this is great. Buttery shortbread. It's got that pralines and cream.
Honestly, it's the oatmeal that
And
brown
yeah,
sugared
I'm with
cinnamon.
you on that. Yeah, when you open up the package of it and the
dry, dusty, kinda,
yeah.
yeah.
21 years from year 60.
You know, they're catching
John
on.
Crayons is here. Yeah, that's how you can tell the ride or die folks in the chat here.
Yeah.
Is when you can tell who's new and they're like, wait a minute, that's not how proof works. You don't add them all up.
But
Get all upset.
you'll notice that everybody who's making that joke, they used to get mad at this joke years ago, and now they're just like sticking with it.
Now everybody's on board.
Yeah, and nobody even questions our 50 blend. It's
Nope.
just
You started a trend here with the math.
the math.
All right,
I'm-
cheers. Let's try the blend out here.
This is genuinely like whiskey of the year kind of contender.
Yeah, that's
It-
amazing.
The one shocking note is there's a ton of sweetness and a ton of bitterness,
Yeah, like the tannic, the oak,
Yeah,
but they work well together.
and they fight each other in a good way though. It's like a really complex, interesting bourbon. It's not just all one thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of these things that's not like the others or whatever.
Yeah, this is amazing.
If you have these, do some blending.
Yeah, for sure. Do the equal parts blend, 50-50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, in the chat, does anybody actually have these three? I would imagine some people do. Usually when we end up doing blends, it's a blend that we assume nobody in the world has ever done or doesn't have the same.
I think this one's a possible because
bottles?
it was at Costco.
Yeah,
it's
this
pretty
one
widely.
people might actually have.
Yeah. Layer cake.
I'm calling this the layer cake blend.
Okay.
That's where it is.
Caramel layer cake.
Yeah, this is amazing. I have so many Makers Private Selects, it's unreal. I need to start buying more of them.
I was like a year and a half ago, and I stopped because I had a bunch, and now I've actually killed a few bottles.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that they're so common, at least around here, where I don't have to buy it every time I see it.
Yep.
Because so it gets to be one of those ones that you take for granted, and they actually end up not being on your shelf because they're so common, you don't end up buying them. You buy
But
them.
they're always good.
They're always good.
Yeah.
Steve Joe's, yeah, you passed them up. Yeah, these are really, really good. If you like Makers products. Mm-hmm. And again, that's like what I was saying about the cellar aged. You know, you're not going to get that. You're not going to find it anywhere, not for MSRP, unless you're really lucky or you win a lottery or something.
You're good friends with the manager of the liquor store.
Yeah, something. However you procure your unicorn bottles.
Yeah.
But it just, again, to reiterate for people who weren't here before, that bourbon kind of highlighted for me. It's like, yeah, this is a tier above like the regular Makers cask strength and the 46 and these, but these things at Makers at cask strength
Is really close.
is so good that it's just, and it's right within the same wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like it's in the same family. And so I need to start, I actually got one of my private selects back here is running very low, so I'm gonna have to replace that at some point here.
Yep.
Aiden is in the house.
He
Cheers,
is.
Aiden. Ryan Frank. What did Ryan say? Hold on a second.
Generations proof that
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I missed. What would the proof of all your episodes combined to be? Trivia question from Helen. Well, if somebody wants to go, Ryan, if you want to go back and painfully rewatch all of our live streams,
we will give you one full bottle. Well,
Yes.
it'll be slightly open because we've had to have done a review
I'll
of it.
give you the rest of this bottle of Miraca bourbon.
It was of the worst whiskey that we've tried in this year.
Yes. Mikey Likey Whiskey is in the house. What's
Mike.
up, Mike? Fresh off a plane and super late to the party. Cheers, all.
So, speaking of being late to the party, there's good news.
Yeah,
There's going to be a new party. Go ahead and plug your plug.
Let's let Mike know in case he just got here. And for those of you that are hearing this a bunch of times, I'm sorry, but I'm really trying to promote this because it's our first show ever tonight. So later on, we're going to be doing a show on a new channel called The Whiskey 6 at The Whiskey number 6. And it's going to be a regular show about once a month. And it's going to be the Bourbon Note, Whiskey Wars, Bourbon Drop, Bourbon School, and Bad Axe Bourbon. And we're just going to have a cool hangout. We're going to talk a little bit about whiskey, but we're going to get into some other subjects too.
And sometimes
just
guests.
fun stuff. And then we're going to have a rotating guest. Tonight it's just going to be the 5 of us, but we would love it if you guys would all be there for the very first show. Again, it's at The Whiskey 6 on YouTube. And again, maybe if mods could drop another link. Love Makers products have all the wood finish bottles, but miss the cellar age. The cellar age is amazing, but I really do think I want to take what we have left of that, and Mike is actually the one who sent us that, so thank you again, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
And I want to do it in a blind with other Makers products and see how much it really stands out, if it does.
I think the age may be a little bit noticeable, but not a ton. Like, and I don't mean to like. I think these are so good that it's just hard for it to compete.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think these are amazing. John Kranz, Makers 46 cast strength is amazing. I couldn't agree more. That's just a...
Even regular Maker's cast strength is really, really good.
Yep. Not sure what the distillery charges. Oh, you want more than that, boys? Maker's cellar age MSRP was $150. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's going to find it at that.
Unfortunately.
Here it is again for those that missed it, like Greg apparently. Boom!
I'm officially a subscriber. I was number 116.
All right. So yeah, we are gaining some traction. We just put this, and when I say we, I don't know, I think Brian made
Brian did the
YouTube channel.
Yep.
And the reason we did it on a separate channel is rather than kind of have it rotating
because
from channel to channel, we just let's just make a home base for it.
Sure, makes sense.
And again, we're going to try to do that once a month. And so we're going to
We're
going
going
to
to
get
be on
into
the 31st of January, then 31st of February.
So, yeah, February 31st, exactly. So be there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Well, this year's a leap year, but normally February 31st would be my birthday, I think. Yeah, what? My birthday is February 31st.
I was going to make a joke, but I don't need to make that joke.
Cool Running is here. What's happening? Aiden, I've got a sample of Yellowstone Toasted. Nice. How was that?
Didn't we try that? That sounds familiar. Didn't someone send us one?
We had I don't know if it was the Toasted. I can't remember.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, we had a Yellowstone, some sort of cool Yellowstone product that was really good.
Yeah.
You've got one, right? One bottle
it's dead, but
Okay.
I mean, that was a great bottle, like 107 proof, 7-year whiskey that was really, really good.
They had, I think, Yellowstone had like an American single malt that was kind of all the rage for a while. People were like chasing it.
I've had a single malt or two. Sugar Kitty, plug your ears for this. I'm kind of tired of the Scotch/single malts that I've had recently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just a bourbon guy.
So I did a brief review of a Scotch in tomorrow's video.
Wow, you went forward in time or backward in time, or it's impossible to say, kids.
Yeah. So tomorrow's video, since we didn't record a proper review, is my bourbon hunting and just screwing around on vacation.
Well, let's not include that on the the public internet.
Yeah, that didn't make it into the final cut. Let's see. I unsubscribed because of the Pierce Bronson James Bond. There's a trailer on there. I think I sent you the Toasted Yellowstone, and you did it before the hazmat. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mike, you are right. Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Anyway, so speaking of like scotches and stuff, spoiler alert, there is one part where I was filming in the Cozumel, Mexico duty free, and they surprisingly had a ton. Sometimes you go to like a duty free off of a cruise and they've just got maybe 2-3 bottles of basic bourbon.
Sure.
The one in Cozumel right off of the port that we were in was really good. They had tons of scotch. Like Johnny Walker has a ton of travelers only stuff, and so does Macallan. And so I was filming all that, and then right when I got to the bourbon section, they came over and told me that I wasn't allowed to film or take pictures, which apparently is a Mexico thing. I thought that was an airport thing, because I got yelled at the airport, and they made me delete the videos and stuff. A guy with a machine gun.
Mexico.
I think he had a gun. But I assumed maybe that was an airport thing.
Sure.
And then so I was filming in the duty free here. It's like right when I got to the bourbon, I had to shut it off. But they did have some cool stuff. I bought a few bottles. That's all in the video for tomorrow. Nice. So check it out. It's kind of fun. It was just something.
See, that's why you need that stealthy camera that's not, the big production.
I know. That's the thing. I have that little tiny periscope looking camera that I think I've showed you. But the thing is with filming bourbon hunting, like when it doesn't have a good frame rate, and so it gets very blurry when it barely moves at all.
People enjoy that part.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So OG Brick made a reference to Penelope Toasted until it blended it, and now it tastes burnt.
Yeah.
What was the like the wine?
The
finish?
rosé one.
Like really feel like that had a burnt quality to it.
Yeah, we said it. It tasted and smelled like a 1980s perm.
Yeah, burnt hair.
Yeah, like a hair salon or something.
So maybe that's Penelope's that's their thing.
I wasn't into that one. It was
but
not.
I just actually killed my bottle of toasted Penelope, and it's really good. Like that one's a solid 112.
Penelope's one of those brands I haven't gotten into buying yet because I've tried all of them and they're really good, but
their prices is kind of snuck up.
Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, and it's like, okay, I've already had it.
Yeah, it's MGP juice. We know it. I mean, it's now actually owned by MGP.
OG Brick says, I had no idea you guys said that. We said it about the Penelope Rosé finish.
Rosé had it smelled like, as you're walking down, like if you're old enough to remember walking in a mall, you walk past the hair salon and those chemicals that they used to use in hair salons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it just was weird, but not bad. Like I didn't hate it. I felt it smelled like a hair salon.
Joe NYC says, you guys are good. You should have people watching you. Well, we've got you and 25 other people, so we're thankful for that. Thank you very much, Joe.
Tell your
Welcome
friends.
to the chat. I think Joe NYC, that's a new name. I don't recognize that.
He's probably had that name for a while.
From previous live streams. So welcome, Joe NYC, if you're new to the channel here.
So I've got to ask anyway.
Ask Joe NYC where he's from.
Any chance you're from Sacramento?
Aiden says the Penelope toast is you want to pay attention to the char and toast levels because they say, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Wow. It was level 2 with heavy char. Maybe that was where you were getting that burnt vibe from.
Wow.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't remember.
Is that the regular toasted or is that like an architect?
Well, the architect shows the wood stave.
Yeah, they've got a stave
recipe,
profile just like these.
Yep. And that one's really good. I have a couple bottles of that. But
how much whiskey do you have left in your glass?
1.27 ounces.
I think that no, from South Bronx. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a South Bronx. There was a east, a west, and a north.
And just no south. It's just flat on the bottom. There's a north. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not much of an East Coast kind of guy. Although I recently went to Virginia.
Yeah, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 2. Okay, got that one.
Hey, who's that?
Bad Axe Bourbon is in the house.
Booyah.
Booyah. Bobby is in the house. You'll be seeing Bobby later on the Whiskey 6, if y'alls will join. I would love it if we could have it so everybody joins and our first show has like 100 people in it. The 27 that are here, and then 27 people from everybody else's channel.
Live streams? Yeah. There's some overlap if you do a Venn diagram, but there's some new people.
There is definitely an overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, this blend is outstanding.
It is.
So the reason I was asking is because we always, go off the rails at some point in our live streams.
Oh, no, we have to touch on a conspiracy theory. We have 20 minutes left before.
And I was going to say...
and I have a subject we could touch on.
Somebody brought up Malort earlier. I can't remember who it was. I kind of missed it because we got a bunch of comments
So
at the same time.
somebody sent us a bottle or a taster of Malort. It was unpleasant.
Nate Carlson is on board with our math. 27 times 6 equals 100. Thank you, Nate. See?
Well, I don't know the reference to 27 or 6.
Because I said if 27 people, these 27, then 20, those like 26
okay.
from
Yeah, I
everybody,
gotcha.
or 27 from everyone else's channel.
I thought you'd scrolled up and that was like a long time ago thing.
Malort, that was me, Steve Joes. Okay. So speaking of Malort, if you want
sure you want to say that in public there, Steve?
I was wondering if you'd like to
No.
experiment and drink something disgusting.
No, thank you.
It's in the freezer over there.
Malort?
No.
Oh.
It's something totally different.
Oh, did you buy something on vacation?
No, I actually bought this at the just the liquor store. They're mini bottles.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what this is, and the reason I bought this, I figured
explain.
it would lend itself to a live stream. Have you ever drank Goldschlager?
I don't believe I've ever...
You know what it is, though.
I'm aware of what it is. Well, not really. I know it's a thing.
Yeah. So they get little flakes of gold in the bottle is kind of their claim to fame. But it's like a cinnamon liqueur.
Oh, is it?
And so it's actually, it could be maybe comparable to sort of like a Fireball type thing. But, and maybe most people don't have this experience with it, but we used to drink a lot of it in shot form. We used to make drinks called Dead Nazis. And it was Goldschlager and Jägermeister mixed. And it was
I've had Jaeger.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan, but I've unfortunately had
Jägermeister and Goldschlager went hand in hand back in the day with me and my friends.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so for me, Goldschlager kind of has a sort of.
Okay, fair enough.
But then again, I've never actually sipped it frozen, and maybe that's what you're supposed. I think it's meant to be taken.
So you bought Goldschlager?
Well, here's the weird part. So they have regular Goldschlager that's like 90 some proof or 80 some proof or whatever, like just a normal liqueur.
Yeah.
They had 107 proof Goldschlager, which I didn't even know was a thing. And so I was like, I can't pass this up. I have to try this.
All right, well, I gotta try it now.
So in the freezer there's 2 mini bottles.
Now, I will tell you, I've had Fireball.
Yeah, you're a Fireball aficionado.
I like cinnamon as a flavor profile.
So yeah, this is the 107 proof. And what is that one? Do we have... Let's...
Cue the glasses.
Oh, I was just going to bust these out too.
Bottled at 43.5.
Yeah, this is the one. Okay, 107. 53.5%. Okay, so... I'm just going to rinse out an already existing Glen because I think we can get away with it.
I think I'm fine. I'm saving some of my Maker's Blend for either the walk home or for after this.
It's going to taste horrible after this.
I've never had the Goldschlager, so that's exciting.
Actually, I'm going to do both glasses.
Oh, because are you going to do this? You want some of this one?
Yeah, I want to try both of them. So now, again, I've only had this in shot form. Sugar Kitty says, readers, the channel will now be known as the Bourbon Old Men. Yes, absolutely.
Unfortunately, I had a pretty monumentous birthday recently and crossed over a major numerical threshold.
When was that?
In December.
Yeah, I know that, but that wasn't 50, was it?
50.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Did I text you that day?
That was the day of the hospital visit.
Okay, gotcha.
It was a pretty busy day.
That's right. I knew your birthday was in December, like the 12th?
The 12th, which is...
I'm sorry. I totally missed your birthday. Happy late birthday.
Yeah, it was a miserable day, but that's okay.
I remember. Yeah, I saw you out in the driveway that day. Yeah, it was a rough one, but all's well that ends well, right?
Yep. I'm not sure I wanted
horrible.
to pour that much. Yeah.
And they were still your friends. Ice Cold Rumpelman's back in the day. Yes.
All right. Drink up. Oh, these have different colored caps. Okay, this is the light duty one.
Yeah, okay. So what is this, 90.4?
I think it's 87.
87. 43.5. Okay, yeah, so 87.
And you're doing a half, well, we're doing a 1 ounce or whatever.
Yeah, I don't need to save any of this. I wonder what the blend is going to be like.
Cinnamony. It's a bit cinnamon forward, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. Peter Roy said punks. I think he's calling, well, I'm the old one. John.
I'm the grandpa, though, between the two of us. So, like, that just automatically, I told you, ever since I became a grandfather, my health is just right downhill. I need the readers. My back is out.
Yeah. So John, you had beat me by 2 months. See, I don't know why you're like regretting this. I mean, you've had Fireball, right? And you like Fireball.
I don't think you understand the level of Goldschlager that used to be drank in shot form, just getting hammered.
Well, you're not gonna.
You know what it is? It's how thick it is. It comes out like syrupy when it's.
Well, it was in the freezer
when it's frozen. Yeah.
Sioux Falls. You know, you really got to try Sacramento. It's lovely this time of year.
My back is just absolutely killing me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting in a chair for the...
Yeah, pull the stool over.
And then I look like a little kid sitting there. Because I have to sit back, too. It's amazing how much just moving like 6 inches back, how much on the actual camera it changes, perception. Like I move back like this and it's like I'm... Anyway, okay. It's thick at room temperature, OG Brick says. Happy birthday. Unfortunately, I hit 50 in 2007. Hey, you know what? There is nothing wrong with getting old as long as you get there. Because the alternative is a hell of a lot worse, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So, and there's, I don't know. I remember being a kid making fun of like uncles and stuff being old and stuff, but...
Do you know how old people were back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Like a 36-year-old man is like a 60-year-old man now.
Well, some of it, that's true.
Did you know that... You ever seen Beverly Hills Cop?
Maybe 40 years ago.
Yeah, Taggart, the guy who played Taggart in Beverly Hills Cop, the bald one with the mustache.
Yeah, I don't know.
That dude was 36 years old at the time of filming that. And I think Eddie Murphy was like 23. And Judge Reinhold, he was an 11-year-old boy when they filmed that movie. Because everybody just looks 20 years older than they actually are. It's weird.
Drink enough Goldschlager and you'll forget you even have a back. There you go, John.
I like your plan, John. If it wasn't a school night, I might actually do that.
All right, 87 proof of Goldschlager.
It's just, there's no sense in nosing it. It's going to smell like cinnamon. What I'm looking for here is the difference in the 107 proof in frozen Goldschlager.
Frozen Goldschlager.
Yeah. Biking Bourbon is Biking Bourbon is here. What's up?
So the 107 proof is noticeably cinnamonier. Cinnamonier. That's
This one's cinnamony. This one's cinnamoner. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, sitting down's not helping my back right now. I look like a toddler. I'll be sitting down for the Whiskey 6 debut
I'm
tonight.
going for it.
And I'm just gonna have a sip of this.
You should turn the stool around and Riker it.
Riker it? That actually tastes delightful.
Thank you.
Wow. Tastes like Big Red gum. It's that kind of cinnamon. It's a different kind of cinnamon than Fireball, I think.
Not a lot different.
That's actually really good.
Yes.
As it turns out, just like normal whiskey, when you're just pounding shots of it.
Yeah, I'm sure this at shot
in shots is going to be awful.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to burn and be miserable.
RJ the Fed is in the house. What's going on, RJ?
So I think it's fine.
For topless reviews of bourbon, go check out RJ the Fed. He doesn't really do all of his reviews topless. I'm just never going to let that go.
He doesn't do all of them?
No, he was just like, he was on a live stream with Bourbon School one night and he was shirtless.
Oh.
And so we were just kind of making comments about the fact that he was shirtless. I just always, kind of like non-bike riding Dave Vogel saying. Like, that's never going away. He's always going to be...
I'm sure he's ridden a bike.
He better not have. Otherwise, this whole thing has been a ruse.
That's right. February of 57.
Sweet. February 57.
Huh.
What does that mean?
I believe Peter White is January 57.
Okay.
They're comparing months of birth.
I'll go topless for my live on Friday night. All right, there you go. RJ the Fed, topless on Friday night.
Wow.
Okay, so the actual, what is it, 87 proof
87.
Goldschlager is not bad. It tastes pretty good, actually. There's a place for this.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Does that make sense? I killed that because I just want to be done with it.
Ooh, the 107 proof is noticeable. You are right, it's cinnamoner. You just shooting.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it over with because
you don't have to drink all that. You know, they were 99-cent mini bottles. I won't be offended I am sure as hell not drinking. You didn't save any for the blend.
I know. I realized that. But I also didn't do a very good job pouring it, especially this one. I think I got 1 flake of gold. But I do have a fairly significant amount of flakes in this one.
Well, maybe the 107 proof has more gold in it.
Yeah. Well,
That's where the proof comes from. It's from the gold in there.
the gold. All right.
What's next? Southern Comfort shots.
We did it.
Maybe.
I think we did a Southern Comfort review, and it's not as good as you think.
Okay, that tastes good, and I can't handle one more sip of it.
I'm there, but
It's too much.
I've got to do a walker.
A walker, is that like a reference to me shooting
Goldschlager.
Oh God. Okay, here's the blend.
All right, so here's the problem. I'm not prepared to go back to this amazing bourbon yet. I need a in-between bourbon to move back into real bourbon.
Okay. Hey, grab that Smooth Ambler up there. I'm trying to kill that bottle. That's actually not bad. I've been working on that one. And I think if you're going to drink something in between,
Yeah.
like this is okay on its own. We gave a fairly favorable review, surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. Not something I would go out and buy again.
Yeah, right.
But
Yep.
For purposes like this, I mean, you don't want to...
It's a weeder.
Here, you brought your Knob Creek. You have that.
I do have that, but...
Where is... just trying to make sure I'm not pouring this into the Goldschlager.
Yeah, I set those aside because...
This will be interesting to see.
How old is Dave? Oh, May of 58. Well, no wonder you don't ride a bike. You have to have 4 wheels.
Would you guys be interested in trying an organic clear rum and organic vodka? Benjamin, check out your text from me here in a second. It's discontinued brand. I've been told... Oh, that was the end of it. Okay. All right, I'll check out your text.
Yeah, I just heard your phone do some something vile.
Some acrobatics. Let's see. Wait, I don't have a text from you, Ryan.
I heard your phone. It wasn't my phone.
Oh, Bobby's on here liking text messages.
So, okay, we have 7.5 minutes left.
I hope Bobby's still in the chat. I hope he...
I want to raise this as a topic, and maybe you can like continue it on the Bourbon 6,
Okay, the Whiskey 6?
the Whiskey 6.
Okay. Here, get that.
Do you think it is rude for someone, like, well, let me ask you this. Maybe it's an Android thing.
Okay.
When you send a text to somebody who has an Android, can you see that they read it?
I think I can turn that on, yeah.
Oh, okay. On the iPhones, you can't. Well, again, you can turn it off. But
Yeah.
like a lot of people I know respond to every text, and it annoys the heck out of me. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's no longer a conversation, or like you're done with the conversation,
It's okay to just let it die on the vine.
And somebody who I happen to live with, she responds to every message with okay, and I keep saying don't respond because now I have a little one that I got to go back into and clear. I know you read it. It says you read it.
So
Stop responding.
here's some inside baseball. This is hilarious that we talked about this. So in prepping for this new channel, which our first show is tonight, an hour from now, on the Whiskey 6 at the Whiskey number 6. It's the Bourbon Note, Bourbon Drop, Bourbon School, Bad Axe Bourbon, and Whiskey Wars. So It's going to be a lot of fun. Please check it out. Come join us over there. So I'm in a text message thread
With all those channels.
with all those channels. Mm-hmm. And so
It says terrible, by the way.
the other night, does it really?
I blame the Goldschlager.
The other night I was telling all them we were in doing kind of like a StreamYard meeting to kind of prep for the show tonight. And I was like, am I the only Android user here? And it turns out Myron and Sean are also Android users, I believe. They were the two. But it's funny because because you iPhone users can now like texts.
Yeah, you can do a thumbs up
Thumbs
or
up,
heart
yeah,
or
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the rest of us that have decent phones, what that does on our end,
You know we're laughing at you when you
I
say
know
that.
I'm pissing everybody off here too.
No.
RJ the Fed uses Android.
Yeah, sorry for your loss.
What it does is it resends the original text.
Yeah, tell me again
And
how
it
that's
says
better.
so-and-so liked the text, right?
Tell me again how that's better.
It's not. It's horrible. Watch what you say, Ben. I'm going to thumbs up or heart every one of those messages. And Bobby's the worst one.
So every
we were giving
message,
him prep. So I'm in a text message with Brian, Lauren, Myron, Bobby, Sean. Is that everybody? And anyway,
Close to that, maybe more.
so every time one of them somebody sends a text, and then
Everybody
everybody goes and likes that text.
Thanks for the
I
thumbs
re-get
up.
the text 5 times.
Yeah.
So the last time we did a live stream, I was talking to those guys like, listen, I'm not going to tell you to stop liking stuff. I'll just deal with it. But if I'm behind on the chat, here's why. The last time we did a live stream, I checked my text messages, cleared them all out.
Yep.
In the hour that we did the live stream, by the time I got done, there were, I think it was like 78 text messages or something.
And it was all thumbs up and
And it was
hearts
all the
and
same message, just thumbs up, hearts.
Yep.
So-and-so like this, so-and-so. So don't threaten me by saying you don't like it. You know what you're asking for. So it's funny because, that's iPhones. Like, iPhone never comes up with anything first. They're always like 6 years after Android.
We'll do it later,
And
do it
finally,
better is kind of their motto.
Yeah, finally the one thing they come up with first is awful. It's just a terrible feature.
Well,
Because now people like instinctively like every text because of that same reason. I get it. You don't have to respond.
yeah.
The conversation can just end without one of us having to.
Well, so the thumbs up or the heart, I kind of get, but it's just saying, okay, like dinner's ready, you come upstairs or downstairs or whatever. Don't say, okay, I know you're ready. I can hear
I'm
you
just going to
walking-
get up and come downstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's a losing conversation I had, but
It's funny,
I'm
though.
going to continue to push this rock uphill for the rest of my life, I think.
Well, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that.
And if you say something that needs to be responded to, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like, it's raining outside.
It
Like,
is not responding to, because I get it's like at some point somebody has to leave the text message thread.
right.
But we're texting back and forth about some ideas or something.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to stop. One of us has to just be like, okay, I got that.
Yeah.
We're both going to move on with our lives and understand it. Is that like the nowadays version of like an uncomfortable silence? Is if like somebody sends the last text and you have to.
Yeah, I think that's exactly
Because
it is.
when you like the text, you're basically saying, I acknowledge your text, but I'm not adding anything to it.
Right.
So it's like,
It's the same with saying okay.
it's like signing off.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start putting over.
Over and out.
Over and out, yeah. Speaking of over and out, well, I suppose we don't have to go anywhere.
Oh. I just
Not
had
until 8 o'clock.
2 ounces of Goldschlager and I'm feeling like a cinnamon candy cane.
All right, well, this live stream just got interesting. The text message thing is absolutely a reason for micro moments of becoming insane. Yes, for sure.
So I've not been reading the chat. Like, does anybody agree? Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. My wife responds. She has to be the last person to comment on the conversation, and she's not normally that way about anything else. But for text messages, she knows I read it. I know she's read it.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
There's no reason to respond, and she just has to. And so anyway, I'm gonna make her. Well, I'm gonna request that she watch this, at least this portion
This
of the video,
section.
and know that she's being called out publicly to.
Viking Bourbon says, how about just call? Good Lord,
What?
What kind of psychopath are you?
Yeah, why would you talk to my internet device?
Why not just show up at someone's house unannounced
Oh,
like it's the 80s?
that's unacceptable.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Wear a vest.
Is there anything worse than when you send somebody a text message and they call you back?
Oh, so
Like there are few people I can do that with that can do that with me. You know, I'll send my mom a text message. She'll usually call me back.
Sure.
A lot of times. My mom can do that. Or my wife or
well, of course, if it's an emergency, but
or if it's a text, like say I'm driving and I can't, the Android thing will read the text out loud, but I can't respond in the way, then I'll just,
yeah,
call my
respond
wife.
later. Yeah. So at work, I'm in a lot of like text threads, but we use a different app, not texting, but whatever, same thing. And occasionally people will call me, and like it's known, you need to send me a message because I got to put my headset in,
Yeah.
so that I can talk. Otherwise, I'm like dealing with speaker. I absolutely hate the sound of speakerphone. It like messes me up, and so I have to have a Bluetooth headset in, but I don't wear it normally all the time, so I'm not ready for a phone call.
Yeah.
At a moment's notice, and I'll
I'm
absolutely.
just never emotionally ready for a phone call.
I never accept phone calls. Like unless it's like if my wife is out like driving in the snow.
Yeah.
I'll answer on the third or the fourth time she calls.
Sure, yeah. I mean, It's probably fine. Gold Prospector Mike. That seems like a new name in the chat.
So, okay, now...
So in your opinion, 2019 Makers is the better of the... I think so, yes. I like it the best, but they're all fantastic.
Well, before you answer that question, we need to know, Gold Prospector Mike, how long have you lived in Sacramento?
Let's see. Sugar Kitty said, who calls anymore?
Exactly. Why are you calling my email machine or my Twitter machine or whatever it is?
Steve Jones, my wife uses voice for text, so I get paragraphs in response.
Well, yeah, okay.
I use the voice to text thing because when I'm driving, I'll just, if it...
I know that this text I was sending you earlier today didn't make any sense, which is typical of my lack of ability to command the English language.
Oh, Central Coast, California. So you're close.
Well, his name kind of gave me a little bit of a hint.
Speaking of which, Gold Prospector Mike, we just drank some Goldschlager.
We did, yeah. You're like 10 minutes late to the party.
It was good for like 2 or 3 sips. Whiskey Wars is in the house. Cheers to you fellas. Be seeing you soon. Absolutely. Over on the Whiskey 6. Our
Why are
debut
you going
show
to
is
see
tonight.
him soon? We have new people in the chat. We're up to 30. There's new people.
Yeah, we can keep going. It's just an hour from now, we're going to be in the...
On a different live stream, on a different channel, talking about a different thing.
Yeah, absolutely. In case you wanted to hear us talk about anything besides bourbon, which I don't know why you would, but hey, we'll see how it goes. Then again, we always derail. We've been talking about iPhones and text messages for a half an hour.
I think a lot of people are...
But people are in this. They have very strong opinions.
I think they're complaining about their wife, and I don't want to go there, but I've gone there.
Yeah.
So I need to find a way back out of here.
Ryan Frank, in all reality, what a blessing of an issue to have in life. I wouldn't trade my wife for anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I don't blame you, Ryan Frank, because your wife is wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know your wife, but my wife's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife is...
Again, like it's one of those things where if this is the worst thing in the world, is I have to like go clear the little unread text message every time I have a conversation with her, which is every day.
My wife is my favorite person to be around. Absolutely. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's funny. I was going to actually say, speaking of like the voice to text things, it's funny like if I'm driving and then the message comes up and the Android lady reads it to me. Like everybody's got like the their friend who will just send random dirty stuff or whatever, like inappropriate messages or whatever. For me, that's my wife. So it's funny when I get a message from her, like if there's anybody around near the car or anybody in the car, I never have it play the message out loud because there's a decent chance it's going to be something very offensive.
Really? That's funny.
My wife's awesome. You haven't met mine. I would trade. Jesus, Gold Prospector Mike, shots fired. That's awesome.
When we actually go live, this is actually out on the internet. You may want to be careful of that.
Truth be told, in this forum, even though I just complimented her, I could say anything about my wife because there's not a chance she will ever see this.
Well, I mean, we could cut out a clip and...
we've been doing this for...
Well, someone could send it to your wife as a blackmail message or whatever.
That's true, I suppose.
You won't believe what happened
after
this.
No, here's what'll happen. She'd open it up and see that it's a clip of the bourbon note and she'd instantly just shut it off.
Yeah, sorry.
We've been doing this for 3 years. She has literally never seen a single episode of this show.
Yeah, my wife watches the occasional episode, but...
When she's kind of like been part of, like she's been here for filming. And
no, she'll watch our regular recorded stuff occasionally.
And she kind of like is along with us for the ride. But my wife, the last thing that poor woman needs is to go on the internet and hear me talking about bourbon. She has to live with more bourbon-related things in life than she ever asked for. And she didn't ask for any of it.
This is probably a pretty good bourbon, but we ruined it. Goldschlager is...
It's, in all honesty, it's a little bit of a crafty bourbon, but it's a wheater, and I think they do their own distillate.
I believe so.
It's that Smooth Ambler Big Level.
But I'm like, it's...
Distilled and bottled by Smooth Ambler. Yeah. West Virginia.
That's right, West Virginia.
Mountain Mama. Take me home. Country Road.
Country Road. Always bothered me John Denver was like named after a city in a different state, and then he sings about West Virginia.
Yeah, but he sings about Colorado, Rocky Mountain High.
Well, yeah, like pick a region. Like he's like all over the place.
John Denver was everywhere, and he is everywhere now.
Died in a plane crash?
He did. Yeah, wasn't he flying the plane?
I was gonna make a really inappropriate joke, but I don't need to make that joke. I think it was a small plane.
Have a little more Goldschlager, and then we'll see what happens.
West Virginia.
Western Virginia. Western Virginia. I did live there now, Guadalupe. Really?
Really? Like, seriously, you live in Guadalupe, I'm assuming it's island, because is Guadalupe anything other than the islands?
Isn't there a Guadalupe in Mexico?
Well, it is islands off the southern, or no, wait, it's off of like...
Are you thinking of Galapagos?
No, Guadalupe Islands is, it's off of Mexico.
Oh.
I think it's way south of Baja, California, if it's the place I'm thinking of. Yeah, quite a way south of Baja, Mexico.
I carry a fake ID of Buddy Holly in my wallet.
But it's only because you look like Buddy Holly.
It's, that made the most... Did I miss something here? That's the most random... All right, Ryan, you're going to have to explain that one to me at some point.
He died in a plane crash. With
Big
Bopper. Was it Waylon Jennings? No, Big Bopper.
Not Waylon Jennings, because I saw Waylon Jennings live.
No, Senior. No, who?
Yeah, I saw the OG Waylon Jennings.
Right, okay. So who, like, there were some people, like Buddy Holly, Waylon
Big Bopper.
Big Bopper.
It wasn't Waylon Jennings.
Who was it that got on the plane, or was supposed to
The
get on
day
that
the
plane?
music died.
Yeah, La Bamba. Who was that?
Yeah, Richie Valens.
Richie Valens.
Yeah, so I think it was Buddy Holly, Richie. There you go, Richie Valens. Big Bopper. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually saw Waylon Jennings once.
Wow.
On the same bill, the same stage, the same day, I saw Metallica, Soundgarden, and Waylon Jennings.
That's a serious...
And who else was there? It was Lollapalooza 1996 in Des Moines.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish I would have back then appreciated Waylon Jennings more than I did as a 17-year-old. I mean, like I knew he sang the Dukes of Hazzard song.
Yeah.
So we were all kind of like, what? Yeah, Waylon Jennings traded his spot on the plane. That's right.
See, I knew that there was a story there.
But yeah, I wish I had kind of like had an appreciation for him that I would have had.
And John Denver flew the plane, right?
Yeah. God, you know what? Have you ever seen the movie Walk the Line?
I don't believe it's the recent one about Johnny Cash.
Well, recent meaning 15 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. I don't believe I have. I'm aware of it.
That is an outstanding movie. You have to watch that.
So I know Johnny Cash. Like, I'm a big fan of Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Who plays Johnny Cash?
Joaquin Phoenix. And he does an amazing job.
Right.
He won an Oscar.
Does he sing?
Yeah, he
actually
sings the
right?
actual songs too. Yeah. And Reese Witherspoon plays June Carter. She actually sings, and they're fantastic. But that movie, like, it shows like the story of like when they first started doing concerts and stuff. And they used to do like auditoriums, like school auditoriums.
Yeah.
And it would be Johnny
used
Cash.
To do prisons.
That was later. It'd be like Johnny Cash, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley. Can you imagine going, like, I honestly think if I could go back in time.
Oh, late 50s rock and roll?
Oh, I love it.
Or the rock and
It's
roll
so good.
country kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty freaking amazing, like.
I love that old school
totally.
kind of music. It's fun to play too. When I was doing like live music stuff, we used to play like some 50s. Mm-hmm. Just on the acoustic. It's just like the classic,
Totally agree.
Been to the crash site in Iowa, needs a better memorial. Okay.
So where is it, approximately?
Were they like leaving a state fair or something like that? I know they crashed in Iowa, but...
Well, Steve's going to maybe tell us. Okay, like, I actually don't know that much about Iowa. So is it north, east, south, or west?
It's south
Des Moines.
of us.
Well, of us, but...
That's where Cat's Eye Distillery is. Can you give me just a little bit more of that Smooth Ambler? I am trying to kill this bottle. Clear Lake, Iowa. Ryan Frank coming in with the... I got my Bottle Kill Hill up there, copyright Bad Axe Bourbon.
Huh.
But my Bottle Kill Hill is a little different than his. His is empty bottles. Mine is bottles that are...
2-minute warning, I think.
Yeah, 2-minute warning bottles. Yeah, where they're just kind of down like that. I'm going to kill 2 bottles tonight during the Whiskey 6.
Oh, that's...
I've got about a pour left of each of those.
Yeah, and the Friday at Fred's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time. It's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
Clear Lake, Iowa. Okay. All right. Do we? Should we wrap this up or?
Well, okay. So I think we touched on, like, we opened up maybe a thread that we should pull on next time.
Which is?
How else should we complain about our wives?
I don't think we complained about our wives.
Some people did, and I probably did.
I complimented the shit out of my wife.
Well, yeah, at the end, if that's the worst thing in the world you have to deal with, it's not that bad. I think that she probably deals with far worse stuff about me than I have to deal with about her.
Do you know what's funny on that? Like, hey, I'm upstairs. We don't need to, whatever. Like, say I'm downstairs in the kitchen and my wife's upstairs in bed and I'm coming upstairs. Like, if she can't hear me because the door is closed, I'll just call on the cell phone. Hey, do you want me to bring you anything up? Do you need anything? Whatever. And even those little tiny phone calls, I'll still say I love you, goodbye. Like, I'm going to be upstairs in 3 seconds, but I still do it. And she does too. It's like, okay, love you, bye.
It's crazy.
Is that weird?
Well, I don't know if it's weird. I don't know if it's abnormal, but...
I mean, I love her dearly, but it's also a habit to just end the phone call with her.
I don't do that. Like, we don't actually call. Like, we're inside the same house unless there's, like, something major happening.
Right.
I mean, my wife works from home. I work from home. So she typically takes the basement. Like, we have a room set up in the basement that's kind of set up for her. And then I have an upstairs room.
In the loft area?
Yeah. And so we do text back and forth about, it's time for lunch, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But...
yeah, because you couldn't yell from your loft down to the basement here.
Not easily, no.
Yeah.
And, so we text, but I mean, every time I leave, she says I love you, or if she leaves, I, say I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it if I go out to the mailbox.
I mean, it is a hike, and it's dangerous.
It is. We live in a dangerous neighborhood here, so.
Not really. But.
All right, well, let's wind this up. For the 21 of you that are still here, please check out our show later on tonight in 49 minutes over on the Whiskey 6. It's at
It is
The Whiskey.
a different channel, not this channel.
Different channel.
Called
The Whiskey 6, but if you search for it may not come up because it's new, but it's at The Whiskey and then the number 6.
It is whiskey with an E because we're in the United States of America, so therefore you have to include an E.
That's true.
Because rules.
And it's the Bourbon Note, Bourbon Drop, Bourbon School, Bad Axe Bourbon, and Whiskey Wars. We're going to have some fun tonight, so... please go check that out. Sugar Kitty just dropped the link again. Thank you very much,
That's
Sugar Kitty.
The live stream tonight.
Hope to see all of you and then some there. Of course, all of them, the and then some.
Are you guys going to
Can't
do
hear
like
me
a
saying this
giveaway
right
or
now,
something? Like, you should do a giveaway just to like encourage people to watch till the end.
We might do maybe some stuff like that in the future.
I think you should give away Sean's hat.
You don't give away Sean's hat. If anything
I
else,
just said it because he was right there.
You, with his permission, auction it off for a very high price to like cure a disease or something.
Well, yeah, okay. If you want to be all like,
so you guys will be complaining about your wives.
no, that's this show after an hour of live.
Sean, do you mean it's never happening that we're auctioning off the hat, or that you're never going to complain about your wife?
Don't answer that.
I'll be buried with it. I gotta ask him later on in the Whiskey 6 if does he have just the one hat, or is it like a couple of different hats that look the same?
Because if it were me, I'd have a collection of hats.
Yeah, maybe like you collect hats like you collect whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, you should honestly. If you don't have a new channel like in the works called the Hat Wars, you're missing out.
Hat Wars. All right. Speaking of new channel, I need to go get some food between now and the next live stream. So, thank you guys very, very much for joining. Please go join us on at the Whiskey 6 tonight on YouTube. It's going to be a ton of fun. Again, it's going to be the Bourbon Note, Bourbon Drop, Bourbon School, Bad Axe Bourbon, Whiskey Wars. We're going to talk a little bit about whiskey, but we're going to talk about some other stuff besides whiskey and just kind of have a hangout.
And maybe some conspiracies.
And who knows? Yeah, we'll see what happens. So anyway, cheers everyone. Thank you for joining us. It was good to be back after a couple week hiatus of live streams.
Totally agree. And until next time, see you next time.